Now, what's in the box? I wonder. Oh, I see. A fish on a rope. How bizarre. A fish on a rope. A fish on... Of course, this can only be one story. Lazy Jack. Well, Lazy Jack was far lazier than Koala. Much, much worse. But I did ask some of you if you could come up with some suggestions of laziness. So before I start the story, I'd like to read some of these out to you. James Beattie thinks it would be very lazy, but still at the same time rather nice to have a servant to help him get dressed in the morning. And I'm not too sure about that, because you'd have to make sure you know all your clothes, get them all laid out the night before, and sometimes you can't make your mind up until the morning, and you don't want someone else to be choosing your fashion sense for you, do you? So I'm not sure about that one. Omar says, hello Omar, by the way, Omar reckons the sloth is the laziest animal, but actually I think the sloth is just a little bit slow, maybe not so lazy, I don't know, I might be wrong. But Alison Macaulay's cat does sound like the laziest animal. She says that her cat is the laziest laser in Lazy Town, and I do like that expression. It basically has two positions, this cat. The two positions are exactly the same position, except one is facing east and the other is facing west. And if you lived around here, you would know that that is not east and that's not actually west, but let's pretend it is. And Martina McAlpin told me all about Lazy Honza, who was too lazy to fight a dragon, and that sounds like an exceptionally interesting story, so I'll have to look into that one. But none of these people are as lazy as Jack. Jack, he was the laziest laser in Lazy Town, much lazier than your cat. Yeah. He was so lazy that he groaned at blinking. I love that. That was by Bethan, aged 7 3/4. So lazy, he groaned at blinking. Do you know, if being lazy was an Olympic sport, Jack would win gold every single time. Yeah, you can just picture it, can't you? On the starting line, all these people yawning, wearing their pyjamas, wearing their slippers, hair all over the place, rubbing their eyes, but there'll be one lane empty. That would be Jack's lane. He'd still be in bed, so he'd get gold for that. If he stretched in the morning, he would say, that's enough exercise for one day. He would put his slippers on if he could be bothered, and he would slip, slop, slip, slop, slip, slop his way into the kitchen to just find what any food was available, any food at all. He would look in the teapot, see if there was any tea left, and there might always be a small dribble at the bottom, yeah, of cold overbrewed tea. You know, when it gets that horrible oily slick on top, he'd pour that out into whatever receptacle there was, whether it was a saucepan or a cup or a broken bowl. He would just pour it in. Frying pan, great, drink that. He wouldn't put milk in. No, much too much work. He would open the fridge and just find what any food was left. Maybe a cold pineapple ring, some cold beans, a bit of dried up cheese, and he would eat that for his breakfast. He would get a slice of bread with nothing on it and just eat that. But if it wasn't sliced, if it was a whole loaf, he would just pull bits out of the middle. Couldn't be bothered to get the knife out the drawer and cut that up. Oh no. And worse than that, or as well as being lazy, he was absent-minded. Yeah, I almost forgot the word absent-minded there. That's how absent-minded I can be. His head was always in the clouds. He was always thinking about something else. Yeah, always. Have you ever had one of those days, though, when you get things the wrong way round? Maybe you put the milk back into the oven, or maybe you put your shoes on the wrong feet. Well, Jack was like this every single day. Basically, Jack ate, and he drank, and he burped, and he slept. That was his life. He hardly ever had conversation. His mother was fed up. Jack, this can't go on. Jack, this can't go on. Jack, wake up, Jack. Jack, wake up. Jack, wake up now. What? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, that's too early. Let me go back to sleep. Jack, wake up now. I'm fed up with you. You're too lazy. I want you to do some work experience. I've arranged work experience for you every single day of this week. Ah! Da, da, da. It was that word, that 4-letter word. Work. No. A cold sweat broke out on his brow. His skin turned white, then pale yellow, then grey. Work. Work meant getting up in the morning. Work meant walking somewhere. Work meant lifting things and carrying things and doing stuff. Oh, mummy, no, I can't work. I've got that thing. What thing? That thing, you know, what thing? That condition. What condition? You know, that thing. What, you mean work-shy lazyitis? You're going to go to work tomorrow with Mr. Mortar. I've arranged it. Mr. Mortar, the builder. Well, Jack decided he'd never seen his mum so angry. He thought he'd better give it a go. So he prepared for this by going to sleep at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So he'd get a full 16 hours ready for work. And in the meantime, his mum went around the neighbourhood borrowing as many alarm clocks as she possibly could. And she put these all around his bed. At 8 o'clock in the morning, 16 hours after he'd gone to bed, ring, ding, 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 brrr, ding, 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 All the alarm clocks went off. Oh, what? What's going on? It's my worst nightmare. He put his slippers on the wrong feet, and he slopped his way into the dining room, and wow, doing, his eyes stood out on stalks. His mum had prepared him breakfast. Such an amazing breakfast it was as well. There were fresh croissants and fresh bread, homemade jam, freshly squeezed orange juice, a fresh pot of coffee. He couldn't believe it, and he thought, actually, maybe this work thing's not so bad. After all, he had the most amazing breakfast, and then he walked all the way to Mr. Mortar's house, which was next door. Yeah. Mr. Mortar was a man of few words. All right, like that. All right. Jack climbed into Mr. Mortar's cart, and he slept all the way to the building site where they were going to do some work. That was actually 5 minutes away. Well, when he got there, it was a surprise to his body. There was so much to do. There were bricks to carry, buckets to carry, ladders to carry, and his arms were aching. But there were lots of tea breaks, and he quite liked that. Yeah, and it was fresh tea, yeah, with milk, yeah. And Mr. Mortar always had a big tin of biscuits, the best biscuits as well, the ones with chocolate on top. Yeah, those ones, not the dried up ones that are always broken. And Jack thought, ooh, this isn't bad. I quite like this. This work thing's not so bad after all. And at the end of the day, Mr. Mortar gave him £1. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's a bit stingy. That's not much money. £1? £1? But in those days, whatever time this story was, £1 was worth quite a lot. And he was really proud of this £1. He kept looking at it. Would you just excuse me for one moment? Perfect. He took his £1 and he flicked it up in the air all the way home, like this. He rolled it up and down his arm. He was so proud he'd survived a day's work. He'd never done that before. This was amazing. He even balanced the £1 on his nose and carried it home like that. But before he got home, he tripped on something. Must have been a stone down there. The pound rolled off and it rolled under a bush. And the bush was about that far away. At that point, the old Jack came back. Oh, that's a drag. He couldn't be bothered to get on his hands and knees and find that coin. When he got home, his mum was really excited to see him and find out if he'd enjoyed his day of work. So, Jack, how did it go? Oh, all right. Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun? Did you have any biscuits? Did you get paid? How much did you get paid? £1. £1? £1? That's excellent. Well done, Jack. Let me take that pound and I'll put it in the piggy bank. Oh, I dropped it. You dropped it? Yeah, I dropped it. And you didn't pick it up? No, I couldn't be bothered. You dropped it. Why did you drop it? Oh, I was carrying it on my nose. Oh, Jack, you silly boy. You don't carry money on your nose. You put it in your pocket. Oh, Jack, you silly boy. All right, Mum. I'll do that next time. Can I go to bed now? I'm really, really, really tired. Okay, Jack, but tomorrow you're to work for Farmer Barleygrow. Oh, Mum, do I have to? Anyway, he slept and slept and slept. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, ring, 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 ding, 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 Oh, my worst nightmare. What's going on? He got up though. He put his slippers on the right feet this time, the correct feet, not both on the right feet, that would be silly. And he slopped his way into the dining room. And again, he couldn't believe his eyes. The breakfast looked amazing. Fresh croissants, fresh bread, homemade jam, freshly squeezed orange juice, fresh field mushrooms sizzling in the pan. Oh my goodness me, he had such an amazing breakfast. And then he walked all the way to Farmer Barleygrow's, which was about 3.5 minutes walk away, which was quite a feat for Lazy Jack. And when he was there, again, he actually had to do some work. He had to feed the cows, feed the sheep, and feed the pigs. But there were lots of tea breaks, and he was given some lovely, lovely things to eat. Yeah. He had, what did he have that day? Oh, egg sandwiches. And he had some ham sandwiches as well. Yeah. It was vegan ham, of course. And he thought, actually, this work stuff isn't so bad after all. It's not so bad after all. And at the end of the day, Farmer Barleygrow didn't give him any money. He gave him a jug of milk. Oh, thanks very much, said Jack. I know exactly what to do with this. And he poured the milk into his pocket. Farmer Barleygrow couldn't believe his eyes. Jack squelched his way all the way home. A huge patch of wetness down one leg. A bit stinky as well because it was very warm and it started to go off and smell a bit cheese-like. Well, when he got home, his mum knew exactly what had happened. Oh, Jack, you silly boy, what have you done? I did what you told me, Mum. You silly boy, you don't pour milk in your pocket. You put it in a jug and carry it on your head. All right, Mum, I'll do that next time. Can I go to bed now? Yes, but tomorrow you're to work for Mrs. Stilton, the cheesemonger. Oh, Mum, do I have to? Yes, you do. Again, he slept and slept and slept. And in the morning, 8 o'clock, ring, 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 ba, 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 bizz, 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 Oh, what? This morning, my worst nightmare. Oh, but he slopped his way into the dining room, and there was breakfast. He couldn't believe it. Croissants, bread, jam, orange juice, sizzling mushrooms, scrambled egg. Oh, fantastic. What a breakfast. He ate a marvellous breakfast. Then he walked all the way to Mrs. Stilton's I can't talk. Mrs. Stilton's cheese shop. You try saying that fast. Go on, say it fast. Mrs. Stilton's cheese shop. Oh, you can say it. Okay, my mistake. My bad. He walked there. That was about 7 minutes walk, which was quite a feat for Lazy Jack. And when he got there, He had to sweep the floor, clean the table, wrap up cheese, but there were lots of tea breaks, and he was given the most wonderful cheese sandwiches with loads and loads of pickle, and he loved his pickle. Loved it. And at the end of the day, she didn't give him any money. She gave him a big round of cheese. "Carry this carefully, carefully." "Sorry," said Jack. "Carry this carefully, carefully." "Sorry, why do you keep repeating carefully?" "No, it's carefully cheese. Carry this carefully, comma, carefully." "Oh, I see. I know exactly what to do with this," said Jack. And he put it on his head. Well, Mrs. Stilton looked at him oddly, but didn't say a word, and he went outside, and it was blazing sunlight, blazing sun, and the cheese started to melt, and by the time Jack got home, he was covered and dripping in cheese. He looked like a walking cheese fondue. Yeah. Straight away, his mum could see what he had done. "Oh, Jack, you are so silly! Jack, you don't carry cheese on your head." "But I did what you told me, Mum." "You don't carry cheese on your head. You wrap it up in a wet cloth and carry it under your arm." "Okay, Mum, I'll do that next time. Can I go to bed now?" "Yes, but tomorrow you're to work for Monsieur Croissant, the baker." "Oh, Mum, do I have to?" "Yes, you do." So he slept and slept and slept. 8 o'clock, ring, 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 ba, 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 brr, 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 Oh, my worst nightmare. But he got up, he slip, slop into the dining room, and there, doing, was an amazing breakfast. Fresh croissants, fresh bread, freshly squeezed orange juice, fresh coffee, sizzling mushrooms, scrambled egg, and cheese. Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful breakfast. Well, he ate this marvellous breakfast, then he walked all the way to Monsieur Croissant's bakery, which was about 8 minutes away, which was quite amazing for Lazy Jack. And when he was there, he had to mix up the dough, he had to sift flour and check the oven, and at the end of the day, Monsieur Croissant didn't give him any money. Sorry, it gets wonky here. He didn't give him any money. I better put the wonky hat on. He gave him a puppy. Yeah, a puppy. Now, I know that sounds weird, but actually, his dog, Brioche, had had a litter of puppies just the night before. And actually, if you think about it, Mr. Mortar, he never paid Jack in bricks, did he? So, a puppy's not so weird at this point, so I'll take the hat off. "Oh, I know what to do with this," said Jack. And he took a cloth, he wet it under the tap, he wrapped the wet cloth around the puppy and carried him under his arm. Well, obviously the puppy just wriggled and squiggled and didn't like this one bit and started biting at Jack, and Jack's clothes were all ripped, so by the time Jack got home, all his clothes were torn. Straight away, his mum could see exactly what he had done. "Oh, Jack! Oh, Jack, you silly boy! You don't carry a puppy like that. You put it on a piece of rope and you walk it home. You don't do that." "Oh, I'll do that next time, Mum, but you did say, but I'll do that next time. Can I go to bed now?" "Yes, you can, but tomorrow you're working for Mr. Snapper, the fishmonger." "Oh, Mum, if I have to." Anyway, he slept and slept and slept. 8 o'clock, ring, 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 brr, 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 slip, slop into the dining room. Breakfast, amazing. Fresh croissants, fresh bread, fresh orange juice, fresh coffee, sizzling mushrooms, scrambled egg, loads of cheese, and vegan bacon. Oh, vegan bacon. Oh, how I love vegan bacon. The smell is so authentic. Anyway, he walked all the way to Mr. Snapper's fishmonger shop. Yeah, which is about 9 minutes. Amazing for Lazy Jack. Amazing. 9 minutes walk. You wouldn't believe it. And when he got there was quite a lot of work to do. He had to clean the counters like this. He had to top up the ice buckets and tie up the fish in bundles. And at the end of the day, Mr. Snapper didn't give him any money. No. He just gave him a great big trout, a massive trout to carry. Well, I know what to do with this. He tied it up onto a bit of rope and he dragged it all the way home like this. He walked it like that, as if it were a dog. All the cats of the neighbourhood not only laughed at him, but chased him all the way. The smell of the fish was delicious. Well, the moment he got home, his mum despaired. "Oh, Jack! Oh, Jack! You are so silly, you don't do that. When you've got a big fish like that, you put it on your back, you carry it on your shoulders." "Oh, but Mum, you said..." "Oh, Jack, you're so silly." "Okay, Mum, I'll do that next time. Can I go to bed now?" "Yes, you can, but tomorrow you're to work for Mrs. Butternut, the greengrocer." "Oh, Mum, do I have to?" "Yes, you do." So Jack went to bed and he slept and slept and slept. In the morning, 8 o'clock, ring, 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 brr, 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 slip, slop, dining room, doing, breakfast, all kind of things, fantastic breakfast, yummy, yummy, yummy. He ate all the breakfast and he walked 10 minutes to Mrs. Butternut's greengrocer's shop. Well, when he was there, he had to sort out all the apples and all the pears and all the oranges, and he had to make a lovely fruit display, but there were lots of tea breaks, and Mrs. Butternut, she made a fantastic apple pie, and he thought, actually, this work stuff is not so bad after all. And at the end of the day, she didn't give him any money. She gave him I've got to put the wonky hat on again. She gave him a donkey. Yeah, a wonky donkey. Okay, she must have had a lot of donkeys. And what did he do? He took the donkey, put it on his back, and he walked all the way home with a donkey on his back. And Mrs. Butternut Squash, she laughed and she laughed and she laughed. Oh, that's so funny. And Mr. Snapper, the fishmonger, he laughed as well because he had to walk right past the fishmongers. "Ha ha!" said Mr. Snapper. "Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha!" And Monsieur Croissant came out of his bakery and he laughed at Jack carrying the donkey. "Oh, oh, that is so funny. I have never seen so much fun in my life. Ha ha ha! Ho ho ho!" And he walked past Mrs. Stilton and she came out of her shop. "Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny." Farmer Barleygrow came out of his farm. "Ho, ho, ho, that's so funny, that is. Ha, 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 ha." And Mr. Mortar came out the building site. "Ha, ha," he said, which was incredible mirth for him. Well, when he got home with his donkey on his back, his mum said, "Oh, Jack, you're such a silly boy." But then Mrs. Butternut and Mr. Snapper, Monsieur Croissant, Mrs. Stilton, and the Farmer Barleygrow and Mr. Mortar, they all said, "Oh, no, he's not. He's not silly at all. He made us laugh like we've never, ever laughed before." And Mr. Mortar said, which basically means, "You can work for me every Monday and I'll give you £1 coin every day." And Jack said, "And I'll put that in my pocket." Farmer Barleygrow said, "And you can work for me every Tuesday if you want, and I'll give you a great big jug of milk, and I'll carry that on my head," said Jack. "Oh, and you can work for me every Wednesday," said Mrs. Stilton, "and I'll give you a great big cheese, and I'll wrap that up in a wet cloth and carry that on my head." "No, I won't. I'll carry that under my arm." Yes, head would be silly. Under my arm. "And you can work for me every single jeudi, that means Thursday, if you want, and I'll give you as many loaves of bread as you want, and I will also pay you extra if you walk my dogs, and I will walk them on a lead. Yes, on a rope. Ha ha, that's what I'll do," said Jack, who was becoming more and more like the woodsman in Little Red Riding Hood. He even said, "Huzzah!" "Yes," said Mr. Snapper, "and I will let you work every Friday, and I will give you the biggest fish you can carry, and I will carry that on my back," said Jack. "Huzzah!" "Yes, and what about me? If you want, you can work every Saturday," said Mrs. Butternut. Oh, no way, Jose, said Jack. Every Saturday and every Sunday I intend to sleep the entire weekend. Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed that rather bizarre story. Yes? I hope you don't go outside with a big dairyley on your head and let it melt everywhere. Or a baby bell. That would be a bit silly, wouldn't it? So, I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you would like any more stories available on CD or as a download, please visit our website. And you'll also get extra music with that from the marvellous music of Martin Thornton. In the meantime, please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Please look after each other. TTFN. Bye.